And we're live.
Oh, now we're live. Okay.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Friday with DDubs. It's me, Daniel. Of course, you know that. I have a buddy here. Yeah, it's me.
No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry, hold on. I just rolled over my cord.
Oh, cool.
Oh, one sec.
You yank one cord and the whole setup is
yeah,
done.
For real. So, welcome everybody, and welcome to my buddy, Jake. Introduce yourself to the people.
Hello, I'm Jake. As he said, I mean, I can't do a better intro for myself than you just did. So that's
awesome.
me.
What do you do, man? I mean, like, because
I
feel
like you mean like
people
okay, I got you.
Yeah, people should know who you are, but I want them to know just in case.
So I do a comic book with my buddy Aram called Blood Force Trauma, which is kind of like our homage to fighting games and wrestling and anime and all that stuff. It's like a battle royale like type of thing. There's a tournament, and then characters from all the different universes converge and they battle. And our comic book is about Matt Daniels, who's like, he's supposed to be like all of us, like just a fan, and he gets wrapped up in the tournament, and now he has to learn how to fight, and he's got to learn all these crazy abilities and powers in order to survive, and he's got to use like his knowledge of video games and stuff to help him get the edge, you know, that he needs. But it's a fun time. It's kind of like 80s inspired too. Like Hiram, the co-writer, he loves the 80s aesthetic. So I was like, why don't we combine a bunch of stuff we both like and we'll color it that way. And it's got like, there's a character for every, for everything that we like. So like when we were first writing it, we really got into blaxploitation films. So that's that character, Lightning Legs Jones, is like our homage to blaxploitation. And we've got like the Bruce Lee character, and we've got like the luchador character that Zap fights later in the story. And then as we're going to keep going, we've got a different archetype for all the kinds of movies and anime and stuff that we like. But yeah, awesome. You know, it's fun.
Dude, it's really dope. And
thank you.
I mean, you've been hustling on this book for a while, right?
I know it's crazy how long it's been and how not that many issues that we've done. Like we've only done 4, but I think the first Kickstarter campaign we did was back in 2019. And I have done other things in between. I have to tell myself that so I don't feel so bad about not doing as many issues as I would like to do. You know, we've got like 3 12-issue arcs planned, and my goal this year is to do as many issues as I can.
Okay.
So.
Well, I mean, it looks fantastic. It's this is kind of wrestling based, not totally, but I mean, like you have this luchador here with an upside down cross on his luchador mask.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you. That's
the name. Yeah, the name is fantastic, and it's awesome, man. And so that brings us to not issue 4, because I have issue 4 and then I lost it. Sorry. And I have a piece of original art from issue 4.
Yes, you do. I've got it over here. I can show the piece that you got.
Let's do it
if you want to see. So this is the page that you got. Ooh.
Yes.
Where he's doing the demon. What would you call that, Daniel? What move is that?
It looks kind of like a sit out reverse tombstone.
Yeah,
it's like kind of like a tombstone pile driver, but a sit out version. So instead of like with the knees bent and the offensive person lands on their knees, they do a sit out. It just looks great.
Yeah, it's not like he's not trying to help Zap like survive. You know what I mean? He's trying to kill him. So this is the version of the other guy was not concerned with the other person's safety. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Dude, you got me way hard. So last time we talked was at NYCC, and I was like, oh, what's AEW wrestling? I don't really know much. Like, aesthetic, but it's in my comic, and the kind of like crazy characters fighting. I love that, but I've never really gotten into the storylines. And then you let me see some of your new comic, which is amazing. Do a power bomb. I know you finally announced it, and it's super, super fucking awesome. And just off of you showing me that, I was like, I'm gonna see what this is all about, because my little brother Logan was way into wrestling when he was a kid, and we kind of picked at him a little bit about it. But he was like, you know, he was a kid, so he was like, it's real, and we're like, no, it's not, dude. And then he was so into it, and he made like videos on YouTube of him beating up our little brother with a pool cue that he had wrapped a slinky around to make it look like barbed wire, and he was like beating our brother with it or whatever. And so I was back in town with my brother a couple months ago, and we're like, dude, let's just watch that era that you grew up in, which was like 2002 to 2006 or whatever. So we watched the Royal Rumble. I know, dude. We watched the Royal Rumble with Rey Mysterio, and we were like kind of watching it as a joke, and then slowly we're like, you know, getting hooked like more and more as we're watching it. It's like a whole Royal Rumble that's poised that Triple H is gonna fight Randy Orton at the end, and Rey Mysterio is not really gonna matter, but he's gonna like kind of make it like close to the end, and then somehow at the very end he flips them both out and he wins. And then me and Logan are like, we're like, he won, and we're like, shit, dude, are we like kind of into this right now? Like, we were like, you know, it tricked us a little bit. And then I just started watching all of it, and I was like, and now I'm like watching all the AEW stuff. And then me and Kyle Strom, who's my studio too, he's over there, just got tickets to see them. They're coming June. So I've been pretty hardcore into it, man, and I gotta think it was you helped with that a little bit, you know?
Oh, right. So you're going to see AEW in June?
Yes.
That is amazing.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty psyched. I got like heavy into it, and you know, I love your Liger book that you did a couple years ago, and watched all of his stuff. I got the new WWE game is actually pretty good, and you can play as Liger in it. So it's
no way.
Sick. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. But yeah.
Did you watch any of WrestleMania?
Yes, I watched the whole thing. And then what's funny is you find out so many people in your life are into it too that you didn't know. So I was back in Tennessee with my girlfriend's family, and we were with her grandma and her grandfather, and he has it on, and I was like, oh, did you know that I'm like kind of into this now? And he's like, I'm into this. And then I asked her grandma, like, did you know he was into this? And she was like, I had no idea until right now that he liked wrestling. And then we were like bonding over it. It was really funny. But yes, I did watch it. It was a good time.
That's awesome. So I should mention to the chat, hello everybody, by the way. I apologize.
Hello.
I'm so excited to talk to Jake that I've just been kind of
loosey-goosey.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm loosey-goosey in every stream, and the chat knows it. So it's kind of like we fly by the seat of our pants every single time that we do this. And
well, it's cool. It feels like you're just like chilling, hanging out, making comics, and I like that vibe, you know?
Yeah, you know, well, part of it is that I don't have the kind of resources or time to make it like a really slick production. And I'm also not very tech savvy. So that is a perfect combo into making something that it has to be chill. It's like when I made Space Mullet and I just colored it one blue color because that's all I had time for.
No, dude, it was an artistic choice. You had a whole like thing behind that. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to make it less than it was.
So don't mind me. I owe a little sketch for a friend of Wonder Woman, Dead Earth, and I just have taken forever to do it. So that's what I'm doing here.
Nice. Dude, the book's so good. I got my girlfriend to read it, and she's not a big comics person, but she was like, I don't know why I like this version like more than the other ones I've seen, and I gave it to her. I got the trade, and she was like, this is awesome. She read that, and she read all of Saga, and she was like, I like all this. This is really cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. It's one of the biggest compliments I feel like I can get when someone says that like they either got a non-comic person into my book, or a non-comic person comes up to me and says, you know, I really don't read comics, but I liked yours.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome. And then you're like, oh, it hits you in a way that movies do, to the general populace or whatever.
Right.
Like there's something that hooked him about it. Like Murder Falcon, I love my non-comics friends trying to find, like, knowing what movies they like or whatever, trying to find the perfect comic that I might not even like, that I'm like, I think you would like this. So I gave Murder Falcon to my friend who's big into movies and music. Like he's a huge soundtracks person, and he's got his favorite composers and stuff. And he was like, the only thing is I wish I could hear this book. You know what I mean? Like he was like, I need a soundtrack while I'm listening to it. And I was like, I get that, but it's almost like the fact that you can feel that and want that is like a testament to how good it is in a way. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So.
Totally. Oh, that's awesome. So I'm going to answer some questions here. Zachary is saying nice things about me, so I have to post this.
Good.
Just want to say he's a huge fan of all my work. Murder Falcon was the first thing I read and was hooked. Dude, Zachary, thank you so much. Thank you for those kind words. Dylan, you can be my friend, but this sketch is not for you. Ryan says, best YouTube channel on the web.
Woo.
I don't know about that, but I will take the compliment. I appreciate it. Thank you, Ryan. Let's see.
On the whole web. Dude, that's crazy.
We got a question for you, Jake. Javier asks if you plan on getting Blood Force Trauma traditionally published once the whole comic's finished. Can't get Kickstarter stuff, sorry.
I'm trying to. I've been talking to a few publishers for a long time, and I'm talking to one right now, and he said he should get back to me mid-May, and hopefully that leads to something cool, you know. I don't know. So I just do crowdfunding because it's something I kind of can control, but I have pitched it around.
Okay.
But it's a book I like so much that I'll do it even if no one buys it. You know what I mean?
Totally.
I'll just sell it to my cousins if I have to. You know?
There you go. That's what cousins are for.
Yeah.
Victor says, hell yeah, that's an awesome page, talking about the Blood Force Trauma page that we were checking out that I bought.
Oh, thank you.
I can't wait to put it up. So it was too big for me to carry in my luggage home. So I had to put it in my portfolio of my original art that went home with, it went to Felix, my art rep out in California. So
he has it.
I'm waiting for him. He has a few pieces for me of like sketches that friends have done and things that I bought at shows in the past year that he's going to send to me. So very excited about that.
That's so cool.
And
maybe he'll look at it and be like, I should rep this guy. Who is this guy? You never know.
Hancock Lee says, looking forward to do a dive bomb. Do a power bomb.
It's not a dive bomb, you silly dude. Do a swanton bomb.
Do a swanton bomb. We'll do a dive bomb. I don't know what that move would be officially in wrestling, but
yeah. Is that just diving to the outside, but you mix it into a bomb maneuver?
That would be pretty cool.
Do that in your book, man. There you go. He's just giving you ideas.
Zachary Jenkins, this is the first time I've been able to make it live because I'm usually working, and he works at a comic shop. He recommends books all the time. Super stoked for Jurassic League and Powerbomb. Zachary, your support is so appreciated, dude. For real. Oh my gosh. So great. Thank you. I can't begin to thank you enough for pushing this on your shop readers.
Yeah. Thank you for pestering people. No, they don't need pestering. They want it. They just don't know they want it sometimes, you know?
It's true.
When you're like, this is the perfect book for you, how have you not read this? You know what I mean? I love that.
I'm giving Wonder Woman here like a really long sword here, so
sick.
Don't mind me. Let's see. Jake, do you have any influences or favorite artists? Talk to us, Jake.
I think, Daniel, did you pick this one to set me up to talk about you? Is that what?
Oh, God, don't even start. You're not allowed to say me.
Yeah. Daniel, of course. My main influence. No, I mean, you are one of them, but I love Trad. I love James Herron a lot. He was probably my number one guy through art school. So
right on.
I even emailed James about it. I was like, hey man, I want you to know that I used to ape your style a lot in college, but I have actively tried to not look at your stuff so that I can find my own voice. So like, hopefully I've done that. But yeah, for a while I was like drawing almost exactly like him because he was that like influential to me. But I was big into Sean Murphy. I love Kirby, obviously. Mobius. Stuart Immonen. Is that how you say his name? Is it Immonen? That's how I've always said it.
Oh, geez. If anybody knows in the chat, please let us know because we don't.
Yeah, I've always said Immonen because big fan of him because grew up reading Ultimate Spider-Man, and I remember when it changed to his art, I was so pissed because I liked Mark Bagley's art, and I was like, "What is this?" And then slowly I was like, "This is actually really good."
Yeah, totally.
Then I got really into his work, and who else do I like? I'm looking around at the art on my walls because I always forget. I like Buster Moody. Do you know his stuff?
Buster Moody is amazing. I actually have a Aurario sketch that is on the wall right now on my studio.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, his stuff is super cool. And he lives here. So I'm in Kansas City now. So I hang out with him a lot. What else? Oh, Tony Moore. Tony Moore was huge for me. And I remember he was the first huge comics guy that I met in person. And I remember meeting him and like almost like walking in on him and not knowing he was going to be there and just seeing him and being like shocked and being like, oh, that's Tony Moore. And then I like pulled out my wallet to like buy something. And I remember dropping all of my money onto his table. And he was like, oh, and he was like, nice one. And I was like, I'm so sorry. You're so cool. And then I like left and talked to Jeremy Bastian, who's another artist I was a big fan of.
Right on.
And he's awesome, but he didn't have that Tony Moore, oh my God, there you are thing. He was just such a chill guy. I was like, dude, I really whiffed it in front of Tony Moore. And he was like, it's all right, man. Like that happens to all of us. And he like talked me through it. And then I went back to Tony Moore and was way cooler the second time. But he's really cool. I just kind of forgot because I don't think he's done comics in a while. I don't think I picked up. Yeah, I think the last thing he did was a Thor, and then he did that Deadpool short, but that was like almost 10 years ago, I think. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, but yeah, no.
Yeah, he does some covers sometimes, but.
Oh yeah, but yeah, big fan of him. Kevin Eastman, just a whole lot. Alexis, do you like Alexis?
Alexis Ritt?
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. He's the man. Jeff Darrow, of course.
Yes.
I got a print of him up there. I'm just looking at art and being like, oh yeah, I like that person. When you put me on the spot, I'm like, oh God, there's so many. I can't even start. You know what I mean? Yeah.
We got to talk about. I have a Jeff Bagley story. Jeff Bagley. Oh geez.
Mark Bagley.
Oh, Mark. See, I ruined his name. I've already pooped the bed here, but
yeah.
It was one of my first Comic Cons ever.
And he's like, it's Mark.
Yeah, right. One of my first Comic Cons ever, I was walking around the tables and I saw Mark Bagley, and I was reading Ultimate Spider-Man like as a young, whippersnapper, whatever.
Yeah.
And with his art on it, and I was, of course, like, oh my gosh, like I've been reading you since I was like 14, and he's like, oh yeah, thanks, but all right, and he was like really upset. He was like, not really. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, are you okay? He's like, I just spilled coffee over all my double-page spreads. Like his Starbucks mug that had spilled everywhere.
Oh, that's not good. Like you walked up right when that happened?
It was like right after.
Oh my God.
And he was just like steaming.
It was nothing you did. It was nothing you
did. Nothing that I did. He was just like so upset, which I get. I would be the same way.
Yeah, I'd be so pissed. There are times, have you had a thing where, I mean, you don't color your own work, I know, but I've had the file of the coloring and I didn't save and my Photoshop crashes and I open it and none of my shading has saved. And I'm literally like, I'm going to quit comics. I'm done. Like I've had that thought,
Well, speaking of comics, you Blood Force Trauma 5 is out on Kickstarter, correct?
Yes, it's on Kickstarter right now. It's going until May 1st, or May 1st. And you can find it by going to bft5comic.com and it'll take you to the Kickstarter.
There's also there's a link to the Kickstarter which is live, in the description below, I believe. I think I did it right.
Oh, okay. I will trust you. I will trust you.
I don't know. I mean, I think I
And
did
they can
it right.
find it. There's, they can Google it.
Yeah,
Our
totally.
chat is smart. They're all a bunch of Einsteins.
Michael Brown, Daniel's art is badass. Love watching you draw. Thank you so much, Michael. Let's see. May I have a share if Do a Dive Bomb series happens? Hancock asks.
Dude,
Love
that'd
it.
be great. Do a spin-off series.
God, hey DWJ, can't stay, but hope you're well. I hope you're well too, bro. Let's see. Zachary says we're running low on Beta Ray Bill, but I always tell people to get that one. I always show people the Rainmaker panel. Woo! Love that Rainmaker panel. I read Beta Ray Bill last week on the couch. I read my own comic book.
Oh, I was about to say.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was great. Sean
you
Murphy
make it
rolls.
for you,
yes,
right?
He does. What's that?
You make it for you, right? You know what I mean? Like, you make the comics because you're like, these are the comics that I want to read.
Yeah, I mean,
that's how I feel.
I really wanted to make like a silly kind of I wanted to make a sillier book that was a little more like comedy and not so serious, because like Beta Ray Bill like kind of turns out to be like a pretty somber tale, I feel.
Yeah.
Mixed with like the kind of like action adventure stuff that Marvel action adventure, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But I just didn't. I was like banging my head against the wall, and I was trying to make the book something that it didn't want to be, and I had to finally just let it go, and let it be the sci-fi action adventure tale that was also a little sad.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
There's something about that, man. Like, I feel like I had a friend come into one of my other studio mates came in a while ago, and he came in and he had just read Murder Falcon. And he was like, man, I picked that book up because I thought, oh, this will just be a fun, light, whatever read, and like it's fun. It's kind of like pulpy, it's about a falcon with a robot arm. And then you get like halfway through, and you're like, Jesus Christ, like I'm really torn up right now. Like that is like, but it's like, but you love it. It feels great. There's something underneath that you're having fun, and then there's more heart to it than you even expect it, or even you almost didn't want it, and then when it gets to that point, it's like super cool, and it's a reason why it sticks with you. Because if it was just fun all the way through, I would love it, but I think it wouldn't like have such a I've reread that book a lot because it has such.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that it resonated with you. I feel like a lot of people kind of share that sentiment when it comes to Murder Falcon. Every once in a while, if I'm reading Murder Falcon again, sometimes I'll make myself cry. I don't know what that says, but
yeah. If you want a better recap of what I said, like my feelings of it, I made a video on YouTube. It's like I have like no views on it because I'm also not YouTube savvy.
Sure.
Even though you're doing great, I don't mean that to say you're not, but
I got you.
Yeah, but I've got a review of it. It's my most viewed video, which is not saying much, but I'm much more articulate because it is one of my favorite comic books. The year it came out, I said many times when I was tweeting pages of it, like, this is my favorite book this year. It's super cool, and that's what makes me so excited about Powerbomb. Is I'm like, somehow, man, you're like, you make the book that I'm literally in the mood to read right then. I don't know how you do it. It was weird too because like James Herron's book Ultra Mega was announced the week I got really hardcore into kaiju stuff. Like I was like, I've always been into it, but I was like, I'm gonna deep dive, and I started watching like Ultraman and all the like Kamen Rider, like the super deep toku stuff. Yep. And then the day, the week that was happening, I like woke up and they announced Ultra Mega, and I was like, how does James Herron know exactly what I'm in the mood for, like right now? This is crazy.
Oh, that's awesome. So let's see. Someone asked a question. Oh, this is a random one, but Nicolosity asks, Daniel, previously you mentioned a French photographer you used as references for learning shadows on faces. Yes, his name is Henri Cartier-Bresson. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I'm going to write it out here on the top. Actually, I'll drop it into I'm going to write it into the top so that people have access to the... actually, I'm going to zoom in. All right.
I'm gonna look that up too.
Yeah. Henry.
Oh,
I
there
think
he is.
that's the middle. I think that's that. If you Google this, you'll
Yeah,
find
that's
him.
right. I found him.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out her legs here really fast. They're not. I need to like get right over the camera, so I'm gonna block it for a second. Sorry, everybody.
I made a couple drawing videos, and that was the hardest thing about filming myself drawing is I really like putting my head directly over the art, and you can't do that if you want to film. And I was like, oh, well, I don't really like filming drawing then.
No, it can be really tough, and especially like I this is also like a health thing that I'm trying to get better about is I'm trying not to like lean over my pages too much.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty good at it. But like when I get over to this face, like I have to be over her face when I ink it.
Yeah.
I just have to. Faces, they just take so much
Yeah.
effort and concentration. A lot of times I feel that way about hands too. So a lot of times if I'm doing a drawing live, I'll feel like my hands are like really at risk of not turning out well.
Yeah.
I'm
Now, is
gonna
it
look
just
at this
the?
here.
Oh, sorry.
No. I'm just gonna look at this with my.
Oh, there he is. There's his face.
Yeah, I'm using my phone as a mirror here to make sure everything looks okay. It looks okay to me.
That's awesome.
Let's see. I know I've missed a ton of comments. Sorry. Okay, here we go.
But does she have 2 left hands?
Are either of you?
Or is she just moving her hands really fast like that?
Are either of you Darwin Cook fans? I'll you take that one, bro.
Oh yeah, no, I'm a big Darwin Cook fan. I love New Frontier. No, he was one of the great DC Comics artists.
Did you ever read his Spirit comics?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, Spirit was awesome.
That was great.
I'm trying to think of other big ones. I think New Frontier, Spirit, and like his very like random Batman stuff and his other stuff were guys that I like him and like Chris Somney. Do you consider them pretty like they kind of come from the same like genre? I would say of art.
Yeah, I feel like they're both like Supermen. Like
Yeah,
they're both like so good at what they do. It's a little scary.
and they put out so much
I
that you're
know.
like, how are you drawing this much? I mean, you're pretty fast, man. Like I've like. You think you've streamlined your style more to the to where you can be this fast than you did like back on Space Mullet?
Oh yeah. And I honestly think a big part of that is from having a kid and just like
Is it
needing to
pooping?
be. Yeah, they just are so demanding, the time constraints when like having a kid and like working from home and setting my own schedule.
Yeah.
It's just a big challenge and something that I really struggled with. And so you'll notice like I went through a really big growth. I feel like in like right around issue 3 of Murder Falcon, where like I really had to learn how to like be a dad and like also be an artist at the same time. It was really
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah.
It was a really hard time. So I look back on issue 3 of Murder Falcon now, and I'm like, I can see through my lines the way I was feeling,
Yeah.
like when my kid like was like having trouble sleeping, and
No.
those first 3 months, it's like a war of attrition.
Yeah.
So what's nice though, I have a new kiddo now, and I've kind of like I've learned how to deal. Like it's not a mystery anymore. The way like I went through kind of like an artist crisis when Fiona was born, and I didn't even come close to having that this time. So something to
Oh, that's
celebrate
awesome.
for sure.
That's awesome, dude.
Max Lumbert says Tony Moore and Arthur Adams are similar in a way. Take forever to draw, but amazing details. That's the darn truth.
Yeah.
All right, so I got to ask, is Kyle Strahm there right now?
Yeah, he's right over there.
Can you get him to come over and say hi?
Hey, Kyle. Hey, Daniel wants to say hello. He was just showing me the. Can I say that you did a cover? Can I say that you did a cover for Twig? Oh, sorry. I mean, there's. Here he is.
Hey, Kyle!
How you doing, man?
Dude, it's so good to see your face.
It's beautiful. I can't see your face.
I know. I haven't seen it the whole time.
I hope to see it soon. I hope to see it at C2E2. Will I see it?
You'll see me at C2E2. Hello.
He said he'll see you at C2.
Oh, okay. Can you hear him? I heard him.
Okay. I think he's coming.
Oh, so Kyle, I can't show my Twig cover, right? Because I have it right here.
Man, I don't know the rules. I think that's up to is Big Clutch what they call him.
Okay, here's what I'll do. All right. Here's what I'll do. I'm gonna zoom in really tight. Really tight. Okay.
All right.
Like a nipple.
I don't know. I honestly don't know if it's okay.
I'm doing it for Skybound. Skybound can't get mad at me.
All right. So Dan did a cover for my new book, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And thanks for doing it. I was gonna send you an email, but since I'm talking to you, I'll just say thanks for doing it, man. I really appreciate it.
Of course, you're so welcome. It was a blast to do.
Good.
I am now looking for it. Hold on. Now, don't leave. You just have to sit there awkwardly while I look for this. And as my YouTube channel
awkward
knows.
for your viewers.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Oh, no. They've been through this before where I've like, lost my art supplies or erasers. And there was one time I was literally looking around my studio here for 5 minutes. Okay. Okay, so, Kyle, I made a little... I snuck in a little something for you and me here, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed this. Just want to see if you notice anything.
Oh my God.
You know? No, I don't know.
It sounds like
It's just you and him thing, though.
that's amazing, and I'm very happy with that.
Yes, so I had to include that for our listeners, for our viewers here. How do I say this? So I remember, so of course, Kyle, you've been working on Twig. It's like obvious, like your love of like animatronics and so on and so forth. You're a huge fan of that stuff. And I remember the first time we were like hanging out, I was asking you about the brown guy. And what did they call him? Alf? I don't remember.
You said you love that Gorp or something. You were like
Gorp.
You're like, you're a big fan of Gorp, right? And I was like, Gorp? No, we were talking about Alf.
Talking about Alf.
And,
okay, yeah, we were talking about Alf.
I don't remember the whole conversation. I do know we had a whole conversation about whether or not Alf shreds or not.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Because there are multiple photos of Alf playing the guitar.
Well, I'll never forget the laugh that Kyle Stram belted out when I called it Snorf.
Like, I can't believe I've been looking at a lot of Twig covers, so I didn't look that closely yet, and I can't believe I missed that. I'm very happy it's in there.
Awesome.
But your cover's beautiful, and I love it. I love seeing other people draw Twig, and what I love the most is when people kind of tweak the design to make it their own, and you totally did that, and I really like it.
Yeah, well, I did my very best with it, so I think his eyes kind of pop out of his head in my version a little more than yours.
That's what I like. That's what I like, though. Like he is a Muppet. Yeah.
I want to poke those eyes.
Yeah. Pop them.
So you guys
I'll go ahead.
No, go.
I said I'd be remiss if I didn't mention final order cutoff for Twig is Monday. Anybody who's interested.
You heard it here
You
first.
write that book.
Scotty Young is writing that book. And I'm doing the art, and Jean-Francois Bolie is doing the color. Beautiful color.
The colors are awesome.
They look amazing.
Yeah, he was fantastic That's very cool, man.
Why don't you just whip that up right
Is
now?
that a vampire hunter? What is that?
This is actually a Wonder Woman Dead Earth sketch that I'm just doing
I
for a
see.
friend.
Cool.
You can make her into a vampire hunter like pretty easy.
I could give her one of the hat.
Yeah, dude.
That's what it is.
There you go. Ask your friend if he wouldn't mind. Can I make it into a vampire hunter, like for my fans? You're the best YouTube channel on the web, apparently. So I feel like you would do that for your fans.
Well, Twig, you heard it from Kyle. Twig final order cutoff is Monday. I have seen it. It looks fantastic. I did a cover for it. I'm very proud and happy to have done that. And man, I look so great. Congrats on the new book, bro.
Thank you, man. And when does your book come out? Soon, very soon. Like
June,
Yeah,
I think,
it's
right?
it just got announced. Well, I don't know. It got announced in March, so it's going to come out in June, and then final order cutoff for me is like late May, or actually, I don't remember. Oh, anyway, final doesn't even matter.
Send you that pack with all the. They'll send you all those pictures to post.
Oh, we have a book.
Dude.
We're
Yeah.
already forgetting about it.
Never promote our book.
I know they still want to know. We won't say anything bad.
Jake and I have done a book together. It's called Into Radness. Jake did all the art. It's awesome. And I wrote, well, we came up with the concept together.
Yeah.
And then I wrote the script, and that will be out from Dark Horse in
June, I think.
July.
Okay. No, June.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a trade paperback. And yeah, you can order it now. You should go check it out right now.
What's it called again? Give me the title again.
It's called Into Radness.
Into Red. Okay.
And it's about these kids who have a really terrible YouTube channel. Well, it's not YouTube.
It's our version of YouTube.
It's like this weird setting. You know all those Saturday morning cartoons where kids just like hang out in a building they own, I guess. Even though
Totally.
it feels like that. And they have this terrible streaming show, and they can't figure out how to get anybody to watch it. But then they by chance film themselves fighting these weird aliens, and they become huge celebrities. And their friendships are strained, while in the background, more and more aliens are coming from somewhere, and they've got to figure out what's going on. Do they figure it out?
Who knows?
You'll find out if you read Into Radness from Dark Horse Comics.
Coming out June or July.
June 15th.
One of the
That sounds
Drawn
great.
by this guy.
By me. I drew it. And then written by that guy.
Awesome. Well, I'll see you at C2E2, Kyle, right?
Yeah, man. I will see you then. Thank you, man.
Awesome. Thank you. Good to see you.
I'm going to turn this back over to
Turn it to me. And Kyle, I'll see you every day.
I'll see you in a few minutes.
Zachary, I did a cover for issue 1 of Twig. Keep an eye out. It's an exclusive cover, so keep an eye out. I'll make sure to announce it on my social medias. And yeah. I feel like there might be like something wrong with this drawing. I'm not sure exactly what it is. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about it, but I'm doing my best. Uh-oh, Jake. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. I just had to press the unmute button. What I was saying was, with the way that you pencil and then ink, like you pencil like pretty dark to where while you're inking, like I really only find the drawing when you erase everything. Then I'm like, there it is. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But you know what you're doing while you're doing it. You know. Oh no, you disappeared.
This is me, my head.
Oh, I thought your it crashed.
My internet has not given out yet, so.
Okay. You know what I mean, though? So, like, when you say, I don't know what's wrong with it, I'm like, I can't tell right now. It looks pretty good to me.
Let's see. I'm going to pull out a little.
Is the sword maybe too long? Go too hard with the sword length?
Maybe. That might be it.
No.
I think
it's not long enough.
Let's see.
That looks great. Have you been doing more of those? You're doing those gouache drawings. Have you done more of those lately? I don't know if I've seen.
I've done a few, but not a lot. They take a long time. Maybe I should rephrase that. In order for them to like actually like look professional, they do like take a long time.
Yeah.
So like I did like a little Optimus Prime gouache drawing.
Squash,
And,
dude.
Yeah. I have a tendency to just like ink. I'll ink like if I were to gouache this, I ink it like it's like I was gonna do a watercolor, and then because gouache is so opaque, I'll like almost like paint by numbers, like and like so I can save my lines.
Yeah.
Which I know is not the right way to do it, but I kind of like it because it's kind of like doing a coloring book, but with like my own drawings, you know?
Yeah.
So.
No, that's fun. Oh.
What?
I don't know. I don't know why that looks so scary.
Oh yeah.
Like imagine you just trip and then you just over the whole drawing.
Oh well. I erase a lot. Also, this is a little. See, it's a little too much ink here.
It's scraggly. It's got split ends.
Let's see here.
Yeah, let me check. I'm gonna actually check. So I'm very superstitious when it comes to my Kickstarters. I never check the first day how it's doing until the full 24 hours because
it's been 24 hours, right?
Oh, it's been a few days, but like even now, I try to not check it. I just kind of promote it, and then because the satisfaction of like after the first day, then checking and being like, how far are we? Like my girlfriend's completely the opposite. She would have been like every minute. Let's see how far it's gone, but I like to put it away. Okay. You know what I mean? So I haven't checked it in a while, so I'm going to check it. So, all right, cool. So we have funded. I don't know if you knew that.
I think I saw that right before I got on with you. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Your original goal was what again?
3,500.
Okay.
So
and you're like what 4?
Yeah, 4,800. We're almost at 5, which is super cool. And we've got, I don't know if you know some of the rewards. So we've got a Trad Moore cover that I'm only printing 30 copies of. So I feel like when I did that, I was like, oh, these are going to get eaten up in like 2 seconds because it's Trad. But I almost don't think people know. All right, I don't think people know that I'm literally only printing 30 of them, and I'm not printing any more. And this is the only, like these 30 are the only printed versions of this Trad cover.
Dang, okay.
So if people in the chat like Trad, you should hop on that because I would want that if I was not making this book. You know what I mean?
For real.
But yeah, he's awesome. He did a cover for my first Kickstarter book forever ago, and I have it hanging up. It's the best thing, honestly, that came out of that book. Because now I look back at that book, and it's not what I wanted it to be. But the cover that Trad did is so good that it's worth having done that. Do you see it?
Oh, here, let me put you up there.
Make me big.
There you go.
Yeah, look at this Trad cover.
That's so fantastic.
And he did that thing where he took the characters and made them his own, but they were so much cooler than the ones I was drawing that I was like, shit, I wish I could start over and just do what he did.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's one of the greats, man.
He is an incredible talent.
And he's so nice.
He is an amazing person.
He came, so I went to SCAD as well. So did Trad. And one year I walked by a coffee shop down the downtown Savannah, and I looked in and I saw him, and I met him like very briefly at New York Comic Con, and I waved, and he goes, "Oh, hey," and he remembered me, and I was like, "Oh, hey man," he was like, "You're that guy at New York," and I was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Hey, I'm at Sequential Art Club. Can you come give like a presentation? They would love if you just came down." And he was like, "Sure." And he just came down. He brought us all a bunch of Luther Strode trades that he just gave out for free. And then everyone lined up and he did a sketchbook review for every single person in our thing.
That is awesome.
It was super awesome. He was there for like, it felt like 3 hours and just like going through everyone's sketchbook. It was super cool.
Dang, what a cool guy.
I know, man. I know. Yeah, he's super cool.
So he's in New York City now.
I think so, yeah, because I remember he had moved to Europe. I think he had moved to France, I believe. And then I think, yeah, he moved back to New York.
Because I saw him at New York Comic Con last year, and we had a great time talking.
I know. I was so jealous, man. I saw that picture that you were with him because he wasn't at the show. And then I saw a picture of you with him. No. Yeah, and I was like, oh, damn it. You know?
He was so great to hang out with and just kind of talk about art and life, and he's a really incredible talent, and as you said, a really fantastic person. So it was just really great.
And he was nice enough. Like the covers, I know I didn't pay him as much as he would have gotten at Marvel. He was super like on the Kickstarter I did for my first book, the stretch goal was to get a trad cover because he agreed to do it, but I didn't make the stretch goal. So I was like, "Hey trad, I'm sorry, man, we didn't make enough money, so I can't pay you." And he was like, "Well, I'll take a pay cut. I still want to do it." And so he took like a big pay cut, and he did it for like pretty cheap. And then he did this one for the same price. He said, "What was our price last time?" And I was like, "This." And he was like, "I'll do it again." And he did another one. And he's just like, I don't know why. And he sends me the best emails when I send him a comic. I'm like, "Hey, can you read this?" And he's like, gives me like I know he's so busy. Those are the things when it sticks with you, when an artist, like a lot of artists are nice, but when someone you know is busy and you have no right to take up any of their time and they take the time to really tell you like good stuff, you're like, wow, this guy's cool, you know?
Awesome. That's fantastic.
I'm sure you've had like stories where you've met like the guy and then they actually like lived. We all have plenty of stories about meeting the people we look up to and they don't meet it, but I'm sure you've got a couple where you're like, no, they were as cool as I always thought they would be, you know?
It's funny that you mentioned that in regards to Trad, because Trad is one of those guys, because I was really late to meeting him.
Yeah.
And I had been in the industry for a while, and everybody's like, "Oh man, you got to meet Trad. He's such a cool person." I was like, "Oh my God, I want to meet him so bad." And finally I got to meet him, and he was so cool.
Yeah, no, he lives up, man. It's crazy.
All right, let's see here. I'm almost done with this, and we're getting close to our time finishing here. I do it for about an hour, and then I have like a hard out because my family is home from like daycare, and
they need you.
Yeah, they do. My wife is
need you, man.
Fighting the solo battle while I go live on YouTube, and she's like, "Are you almost done?"
And you're like, "I'm not. Leave me alone. Her sword's not right. It's not long enough."
No, yeah. There have been a few times where I've had to go to Rachel and be like, just tell me to stop working, because it's nothing good is going to happen for the rest of the day. She's like, "Stop working. Nothing's good is going to happen for the rest of the day."
Well, that's what's hard. So you work at home, right?
I do.
Yeah. So like I did that for a while, and it's hard to separate the working and the home life. I mean, I'm sure that you can attest to that. So like now I'm at a studio, Kyle and Baltimore and a couple other guys are here, and having that like separation of being like, it's 5 or whatever time and being like, I'm going home and now it's home time. It really helps, you know?
Yep. It helps. Cause, and I think, I've told my viewers this a lot, and I've said this a lot in interviews and stuff, but like doing this full time is so awesome. And it's such a blessing. But it's also like, it's not just like fun all the time. It's, there are days where it's like a real job, and it's really, really tough. And on those days, it's good to know that at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, you're going home, you're closing the door on
Yeah.
your studio and you're going to go play video games or have dinner with your significant other or what have you,
Yeah.
it's good to be reminded that the stakes are relatively low when
Yeah.
it comes to making this stuff. So
Now, I don't know how you're doing fingers with that big fat brush pen with the one bristle that's bent. I'm like, how are you doing that right there?
part of it is I've kind of a lot of times when I ink in my sketchbook, I just go straight to ink. I don't do any pencils.
Oh yeah.
And I found that I don't need a lot to make the lines that I want.
Mhm.
The more precious I am with my tools, I find the more frustrated I will get.
Yeah.
I find that if I'm in the zone, I'm in the zone, and it doesn't really matter if I have a micron or what have you.
Yeah.
And I personally like the kind of mashed look of a micron and a oh gosh, and like a
The
brush. Like I like the kind of like dichotomy of those two lines. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
So
gotcha.
that's kind of, you know what I mean? Like
That's awesome.
like
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like how they
But,
look
oh, and-
together. Yeah.
oh, Vincent asks how I'm doing in Elden Ring. So Vincent, I'm at level like 56 maybe, and I just finished the battle oh gosh, with the school teacher who has like all her students around her, and she's like her students are kind of like slug students. Very weird, but very awesome. Do you play Elden Ring, Jake?
I have not played Elden Ring. I haven't played any of the Dark Souls except Bloodborne. I have played a little bit of Bloodborne just because I love the Cthulhu aesthetic. I was like, high fantasy. I am a hard sell on high fantasy typically.
Okay.
So I was like, whatever. But then the Cthulhu stuff and the Victorian England kind of thing, I was like, oh, Bloodborne looks cool. And then people tell me that Sekiro is awesome. So, and that's, the Japanese aesthetic of the feudal Japan stuff. I am way more into that, so I've thought about it. But Elden Ring I have not played. But every one of my PlayStation friends, it's Elden Ring. Everyone's playing it.
It is pretty awesome, but I get it, especially if you're not really into the fantasy thing.
Well, it's like it's interesting. So me and Hiram, the guy that I'm co-writing Blood Force with, he's pitched me some books that are like fantasy, but he knows how I am about that, so it's got to be that kind of. So I like Game of Thrones, I like Lord of the Rings, like those are probably my only big exceptions. But like anything where the book has a guy in like super shiny knight armor on it, I'm like, whatever. But so like, if the edge is like, oh, it's super dark, which I'm assuming the Dark Souls games are like that.
It is quite dark.
Yeah, I haven't gotten around to it, but like anything where it's like Castlevania, that gothic medieval twist to it, that's kind of more of what I would lean into. So I'm sure I would like those games. I was just like, it's a harder sell for me.
Totally. Now you're getting a taste of what it actually looks like here with the with my erasing.
Yeah.
It is quite messy.
It's great. And that arm, I don't know, man. You could still ink that arm over there.
The one over here.
Yeah, there's still time.
No, I only want 2.
Yeah. Oh damn, it's gone.
And then let's see. So he says worth it for all the design inspiration. Totally. And Martin is currently playing Elden Ring while listening to this. Hell yeah.
Oh,
Zachary,
nice.
I've never played Brutal Legend, but I've heard amazing things. Rudy, I have been playing a ton of guitar to the metronome. I haven't been inspired really to make music, so I've just been keeping my chops up to the talk, talk, talk.
Nice.
And I have too many guitars. And what else is new? All right, now here's the real test here when I erase her face. Let's see what happens.
Ooh, yeah.
Get really in here.
There she is. Looks good.
Yeah, hold on.
Do you ever go, whew.
Sometimes I breathe a sigh of relief. Sometimes I am shocked and horrified.
You're like, whoa.
Other times I have this like resigned kind of like, all right, it's okay. And
Yeah.
that's what's just happened here. So I'm
Oh,
kind of going in.
at least it's not shock and horror. That's good.
Right on.
So that Liger one you did with Gouache, is that available? Can I have that for being on your show?
Oh man, I sold that a long time ago.
I know. I'm assuming you would.
I don't know if anybody can hear my child banging on my door like a horror film.
Help!
Yeah, Dad, are you coming out here? Are you hanging out with me?
Her hair looks fine, Dad. Please.
Yeah. Stop erasing. You shouldn't pencil so hard.
Dad, her sword is long enough.
Yeah, her sword is long enough. I have to go. I have to go spend time with my family. I want to thank Jake for coming on and talking about Blood Force Trauma and hanging out. It was a great time. Guys, I'm so sorry that I didn't have time to answer more questions. I hope people don't feel abandoned in the chat. I really do appreciate everybody here that's came and hung out with us today. Stacy, good to see you, bro. Rudy, haha, Metronome is great. You know it. Crimson Belheat is waiting for my Roboto anime comic book. Appreciate that. Thank you, Victor. Thank you, Omni. Thank you, Rudy. Thank you, Javier. Thank you to everybody. Manny Draws says, congrats on the Kickstarter, Jake. Making sweet stuff. That's fantastic. It's good to have you here, man. Good luck on the rest of the Kickstarter. But, I mean, congrats on already meeting the goal. And here's to, I don't know, getting more money.
Yeah.
Getting more support.
Yeah. No, thank you so much for having me on. It's been super fun. And I know we talked about meeting Trad as one of those people that you're like, wow, they are as cool as you hope them to be. But you're one of those guys too, man, for real.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
You're killing me here.
Yeah, sorry. No, but you're one of those where I was like, I don't want to meet him, and he's a jerk or whatever. And then you came up to my table at New York, and you were so nice, dude. And you bought original art, and you made me feel so good. And I was like talking about it the rest of the day. I was like, dude, he bought my art, like it coming from him. He bought one of my wrestling pages. I was like, that's like a big deal. So
of course I did.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Oh, dude, it was awesome. I loved it. And thanks for being on.
Yeah, thank you. And everybody out there, if you want to check out my comic, it's on Kickstarter right now. If you like anime and fighting games, wrestling, all that kind of fun stuff, check it out. Yeah, so thank you.
In the description. You guys are all awesome. Bye-bye.
See ya.